Good evening and welcome to the Town of Smyrna Beer Board meeting. Today is Monday, February 1st, 2021, and before we begin tonight, I'd like to have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. All right, any citizens' comments tonight before we begin? All right, and board members, have you had a chance to review the minutes from our January 4th meeting?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve.
I second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion is approved. And we do have an application from our previous meeting, so we'll do our old business first. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, LLC. Representation here tonight? Yes. Okay, go ahead and step up to the podium, please, and we'll recess for a public hearing. All right, can you state your name and position, please?
Jody Lopez Robinson, owner.
Thanks, Jody. Welcome back.
Hey.
So our last meeting, January the 4th, we talked about the distance from your location to the nearest church, and there was, we wanted to check the distance. We had codes come back out and check the distance. The closest point of the building to the church is now 273 feet. And the ordinance does state at 500 feet. So we wanted to speak back with you, and Eric too, if you want to speak to this as well, please.
Yeah, so actually, if you will look in your packets on page 4, what we've done is we've had GIS create a map. And on this map, so that way there's no question as to if they're going from the closest point to the closest point as our code requires. And on this map, it shows that unfortunately they are 270 feet from the church that is located directly behind the building. And as you stated, our code does require that for on-premise consumption that the establishment must be located at least 500 feet from the nearest church, as it would be in this instance. What I can report to the board, however, is that there is currently a proposal to change the distance requirements. And if this goes through council, which we don't know at this point in time if it will or if it will not, those distance requirements would be removed from the section 8-214 for the beer permits.
And do we know the timing on when that review?
It has to go through 2 council meetings.
Okay.
And so the soonest that this board could look at this again, if the ordinance is changed, would be the meeting in April.
Okay. Any questions? No. All right, so we can make the recommendation for you all to come back, just defer the permit requested until then. As Eric shared, we don't know obviously what the outcome is going to be on there, but we'd hate to deny.
We appreciate you looking into it
Sure.
and putting the extra work into it. We
Okay.
really do. We were unaware.
Okay. Well, thank you. Any other questions from the board? All right, you can take your seat, Jody. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion that we defer, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, till the April meeting, just to see if by chance the ordinance gets changed by the town.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we will move, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, permit request to the April 2021 meeting. All right, that takes care of our old business tonight, and we'll move on to our new business. And let's see, the first applicant we have is Southern Flair LLC. Do we have representation here tonight?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Take your podium. All right, and we'll call ourselves to a public recess. And what is your name, please?
Name is Calvin Gatlin, owner.
And your name, ma'am?
Lovely Lancaster, owner and managing partner.
Okay, thank you.
How many managers and stuff do you intend to have?
This one.
Just one? And as far as employees go, are your employees going to be trained, like ABC trained, stuff like that, to check IDs? Or how does your
Absolutely.
Yes.
system work? Okay. Have you guys ever owned an establishment that served alcohol before?
I have not. I don't think she has either.
No, but I have managed one as a GM for over 4 years. Restaurant with, a bar in it.
No
we both-
issues during that time that you were manager of that establishment of underage drinking or anything like that?
No, we never had any violations.
And she and I both have had our ABC training.
Now, I'm looking at the distance from the GSI map. Looks like the distance the distance here from the Elders Chapel Methodist Church is 257 feet.
Which puts it in the
So-
same,
Yeah.
Well, reading the information, it indicates that being that we are in a historic area, it's only 100 feet.
can you determine if they are in the actual historic zone?
Yes,
Yes.
and that is part of what we've asked GIS to do. And if you'll look on page 6 of this particular application, you will note, and I don't know if I can see it here, but you will note that there's a part down here at the bottom right that is in yellow. The part that is in yellow is the historic district.
Okay. So it appears that you're right outside the historic district.
Wow.
Yeah, the cutoff here per this map, the Sam Hager Street across Division Street, that would be the cutoff. Again,
Can you say that again?
I'm saying per this map,
Right there.
Jeff's got it for you.
Yeah.
You're right outside of the historic overlay.
We're right here.
Okay.
Okay.
So, again, we are in the scenario that Eric mentioned earlier as far as the distance. You are right outside of the historic overlay, and not quite meeting the distance that is in our current ordinance right now. So, we could make the recommendation too that we defer until April, once our council, the town council, has been able to make a decision at this time.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No.
No? Okay, any questions from the board? Okay, you can take your seat. Thanks so
you.
much. I'll call us back into order.
I make a motion, we defer Southern Flair to the April meeting to see once again if the town council will change the ordinance on distance.
I'll second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we will move Southern Flair beer permit request to the April 2021 meeting.
And just to make it clear for the applicants of the last two, at this point in time, we can't say for sure that this ordinance is going to change. There is a proposal to change it, but it'll be up to the council for them to decide if they're going to change this or not.
Sure.
And I think it does the businesses well to wait and see, rather than just decline your permit and then you have to reapply if they change it in the future and have to pay, the fee again. So just trying to look out for you guys to give you the, benefit of the doubt on it.
Thank you, Matt. All right, our next applicant is the Front Street Pub. We have representation here tonight. Great. Take your place at the podium, please, and I'll call us out for recess. And what is your name?
Thomas Williams,
Thomas?
And are you the owner of the establishment?
owner and operator.
How many employees are
I'm
currently?
it.
Now, you're taking over ownership of a previous bar that was there, correct? That used to
Correct,
be
uh-huh.
Ron's Tavern?
Ron's Tavern.
And have you run an establishment with a sale of beer before?
I have assisted Ron.
I'm sorry, can you
I'm sorry,
speak?
I've assisted Ron over.
Oh,
the-
you've
over the
assisted
years,
Ron,
uh-huh.
okay,
Yes,
all right,
uh-huh.
thank you.
During that time, were there any instances of underage drinking?
No, none
Any
to my,
problems?
my knowledge. No, no, sir.
And so because you have assisted before, you're aware of our town's ordinance with our laws,
Yes, ma'am.
including any penalties that could happen? Okay.
Correct, yes,
If any
ma'am.
of those are violated? All right, thank you.
Absolutely, yes.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you, you may take your seat. Call us back into order.
I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, congratulations. Mr. Williams, you can pick up your license out here in the lobby tomorrow after 10 a.m. All right, thanks.
And if I may, just make a brief statement on this in case anyone is confused as to why this particular applicant is being approved while the other ones are being deferred. And that pertains to our current ordinance that allows for some exceptions to the 500-foot rule. One of those exceptions being found in 8-214-2, which allows for establishments that were established prior to January 1st, 1993 that have continued on since that time without a 6-month lapse, that they can continue to be in that location even if there is a church or other establishment that would otherwise prohibit them from being there. Furthermore, there's also another exception to that rule which allows for if the church or school or what have you is in a strip mall, that would not, we do not count those buildings that are in a strip mall. And the location of this establishment is considered by the town to be a strip mall.
Right.
So therefore, those are the two exceptions to the 500-foot rule, which has allowed this board to proceed forward tonight on that application.
Thank you, Eric. All right, I will open the floor for any other new business. All right, let's go ahead and set our next meeting for Beer Board, March 1st, 2021 at 5 p.m. All right, any reports of officers, committee, or staff? All right, just looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.